Absolutely. And it's a thing that just people kind of, they're at the same time that we could sit there and credit people for being great parents, we got to acknowledge that some people just don't got it. You know what I mean? Some people are so selfish that it's about their own personal life, and they'll get to their kids when they got to get to their kids. And I'm constantly like,
Who you talking about, 50 and 0?
listen, I'm
No,
not I'm not
I
going in
know.
on Floyd. I don't know the man personally. You know
Yeah,
what I
well,
mean?
you heard what he said. You
Yeah.
heard what he said. He said when a kid get to a certain age, and if it's your kid, you never stop parenting. You
Mm-hmm.
never stop parenting when it's parenting to needed to be done, right? Just like you never betrayed a friendship, right? When it's a friend that they need, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? And sometimes they need a friend. They need a friend that's a loyal friend. They need a patient
Now
friend.
talk
And
about
sometimes,
Barney. You got
yeah,
no, no. That's Toy Story. My bad. You got a friend in
right.
me. That's what I be telling my son all day. You feel me?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so when I told him, I said, listen, dad is here for you. Meaning I don't have my nose turned up in the streets like I did something that's so above everybody and I can no longer identify or hang on to the label a street nigga. When did I get so perfect and so righteous and so in Mars that I don't understand that I'm the first one from Oakland. I'm the only one that you know what I mean, that went from the streets to sports to the top of sports, right? And that's really authentic and to say that everyone can do it, right? If I can do it, they can do it,
Yeah.
right? And to become unrelatable, disconnected. A lot of times that's why the guys that get a little bit of shine and have some, and have a little bit of fortune and fame have so many problems because they feel so disconnected. They feel so much more superior. And I think that's what 50 and 0 is suffering from. You know what I mean? He feels he's superior than others because of the era that he fought in, which is his era. That's the Floyd Mayweather era that he fought in. So you leave it to that. You leave greatness where it's at, and you let these other young guys, who in Devin's case has the Devin Haney era, I believe that, and it's about impacting boxing, right? Where you come to YouTube and you leave, you come out of Tijuana, Mexico as an independent. You rise to the top by working with all the promoters. You're young, you become undisputed, you travel and get the belts. Well, that's quite impactful to the sport. And I think a lot of guys, younger guys, will say, I would like to do it like Devin versus doing it like Floyd. And no disrespect to him, but it's just a different era, a different speed that the kids wanted, a different, you know what I mean, a different mojo. It's just a
Yeah.
whole
Work.
different.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different thing, right? So me understanding that, and Floyd being part of the old guard, and the sense of that it's nobody is just like us and our era and our era and our era. Man, that thing gone and passed. And it was no shade towards him. I think he took it as some shade. So he came out and tried to shame me, because why would you come out to talk to me after Devin lost when you didn't talk to Ryan Garcia before the fight? You talked to Ryan Garcia to help him beat Dev. You told him to cheat and do 3 pounds over like you did with Marquez, like he did with Marquez, right?
Now before
Um,
we skip past that, right?
yeah,
Because I'm an honest individual, and I like Ryan Garcia, great fighter. I always thought he was better than people kind of gave him credit for because of that. Exactly what he was worried about. I'm a pretty boy, nigga. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna hate me and da da da. But in every other sport, and I mean every other sport, if the ball's deflated 1 pound per square inch, if somebody got the playbook early, if they were stealing signals, if they had pine tar on their hand, they don't even give you credit. They just automatically go, he cheated. He
absolutely,
cheated. It's over. He cheated. But for the,
absolutely.
but because and I think it's because people don't really understand boxing, right? Like again, I spoke to you for a couple minutes prior, and I told you I'm not the biggest person, and so I can't tell you everything about boxing, but I will tell you this: I know that I lifted for a long time, and I saw a lot of people do bodybuilding around me, including my girl. to lose those final 3 pounds, right? Like if you're gonna go into a competition, in a bodybuilding competition, to be able to get your body to a point where you're, you know what I mean, where you're gonna go out and win this competition. They say it's near death, right? They go out there, they compete, and immediately after that, it's like rehydrating, and you gotta go out there as an athlete, as a boxer, and perform, and you're depleted, right? But if you're gonna do that as a professional, and I sit there and I say, hey, look, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do this. This is the agreement between you and I. We're gonna fight at this weight. And the last second, somebody's like, yeah, you know what? That's cool and all, but I'm gonna come in there a little bit heavier, and I'm gonna go in there a little bit more hydrated, and I'm gonna go in there feeling a little bit better than you. And it's just like because the people don't understand it. As much as I don't want to sound like somebody, oh, well, you're giving excuses, da da da. Facts are facts.
Yes.
You can't do it.
No, no, absolutely. And for those reasons that I give Devin, you know what I mean? I give him so much credit
For taking the fight,
for,
right?
taking the fight, but taking the fight under those kind of conditions against everybody. You know what I'm
Was it
saying?
because he was doing the whole crazy route though? Like if he
No,
wasn't
no,
doing
it was
that,
just
would you
not
have?
about that. I mean, he was doing a crazy route and he was faking that he wouldn't go through with the fight and all those things. But one thing that Devin did is he signed up for it, Danza. He signed up to fight against a guy that came in 3 pounds. He was more heavier. I mean, Floyd had blocked the fight with the Rolly. He had did so much. The 3 pounds he had released the spar, and Floyd released the sparring footage to Ryan for Ryan to then release it. So it was a lot of things that Devin was going up against, and and the fight, we continue to fight, but also we have proved that Haney's we're made from something different. You know what I mean? We have that thing in us, and that's why I'm so proud with Devin. You know what I mean? That he was able to challenge the machine, so to speak. Oscar, Bernard, Floyd, Ryan, 3 pounds, right? A person that had told everybody, I mean, all kind of stuff. He said that he was, raped by his parents, I believe, or something like that. He was,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, all sorts.
yeah,
He went.
all
He
no,
definitely went off the
just
wall.
all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you were playing, that wasn't worth it. If that was part of the
You think
promotion,
he really
that
bet on himself? 2 million to make 12
I don't
million.
know, but I know that all that he described himself wasn't part of the promotion. I'll take even credit for, I mean, excuse me, I'll take criticism and apologize for saying, mentioning death, that it was going to be some death about it, because that's part of the promotion, but it's a part of the promotion that we did need to have that kind of energy, because I didn't want death on the kid. I just wanted, you know what I mean, him to hear and to feel the seriousness, and the people to feel that they were going to really have that kind of fight that they had. And I think Devin, Devin went out and fought Ryan Garcia's fight, and Ryan Garcia ended up being the best man on that night.
And does that happen because of the knockdowns? Him having to him feeling like he had to go out and get his lick back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was fighting. He was fighting on emotions. I think people said that he would run. That he was a runner, that he was a track star. Even throughout that fight, I think they were booing Ryan for backing up. They
Yeah.
weren't booing Devin. They weren't booing Devin for backing up. So I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't the outcome, but I'm still, chest out, chin up, head held high about his performance.
Now De La Hoya says no rematch.
Um,
They don't want it.
yeah, they
What do you?
said that they don't want it, but you never know.
Yeah. But
You
what?
never know.
Like,
When
so
these
so
people
so what I gotta say, right? Like as a dad.